This is what Israel calls a targeted killing, but the attack on Khalid al-BAHATINI, commander of the Palestinian armed group Islamic Jihad, wasn't so targeted. Also killed was his wife Layla, his 4-year-old daughter Hajar, as well as 2 sisters living nearby, Imran and Danya Ardis. 11-year-old sister Nada survived her attack in Gaza. Her emotions are still raw.
I was under the rubble. I was shouting for them for 1 hour. Eventually they pulled me from the rubble and I found out that they had all died. Father wasn't around all the time, but when he was home I was so happy. I'm very sad and mad about Israel. Yes, Baba was a mujahid, a fighter. But why did they do this to us? Why did they kill my sister and my mother? They took from me the ones I loved the most.
None of the family deny that Khalid al-BAHATINI was a member of Islamic Jihad. After this latest Gaza war, the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu described the so-called Shield and Arrow operation as perfect. But there were reports from human rights groups and local media reports here in Israel that the Israeli army knew that civilians would be targeted, but they went ahead with the operation anyway. 2 groups, the Public Committee Against Torture in Israel and Yesh Gavul, are demanding that the Attorney General force the State of Israel to investigate civilian deaths. A Supreme Court ruling to do so already exists, but it isn't enforced. Targeted killings are legal according to the Supreme Court if certain conditions are met. One of those conditions is avoiding civilian casualties as much as possible. Enforcing the Supreme Court ruling to investigate isn't happening, and human rights lawyer STEINER wants that to change, but understands it's a tough battle.
So if in the past Israel would execute a targeted killing and civilians were killed, it would at least show some remorse, express its regret, maintain that it was not the aim. This is not something that we've seen in those targeted killings. On the contrary, Israel has referred to them as surgically precise attacks, not even trying to show remorse for the loss of civilian lives.
Israel's Attorney General Gali Baharav Miara says she will respond to the group's letter demanding an independent investigation. Meanwhile, the government continues its policy of targeted killings, seemingly with no questions asked. Imran Khan, Al Jazeera, West Jerusalem.